So hello guys, you are welcome to Easy Tech Academy. You are welcome. Okay. Today we want to go to very important topic. Very important topic on mobile phone. All right. Okay. So this is called primary and secondary section on mobile phone. Okay. All right. I know that you will have been hearing about this section. So like primary and secondary section. Okay. All right. So I'm going to make it clear to you today. Okay. If this is strange to you, don't worry. Everything will be clear. Okay. So follow me gently. Okay. All right. So when we are talking about primary and secondary section on mobile PCB. Okay. So the fact that I'm going to tell you is that the whole mobile PCB is divided into these two sections. Okay. Anywhere you are working on mobile phone PCB as a mobile chip level technician. Okay. You are working either on primary section or secondary section. So you are working either one of the two. Okay. So it's either you are working on primary section or you are working from secondary section. So that's why it's very important for you to know, because all the problem that you will be dealing with is either the problem is coming from the primary section or the secondary section. Okay. So now we are going to go into it. So now I'm going to start with the diagram of a mobile phone. Okay. So now let's start from the charge port. Okay. Let's start from the charge port. All right. So in our charge port, we have like 5 legs, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one leg is a ground, if I'm correct. So one leg is positive, if I'm also correct, which is called fibers, which is 5 volts coming from our charger. Okay. All right. So now this 5 volts, that's the fibers that is coming from our charger. Okay. So it's going into the input of a DC to DC IC. You can also call it charging IC. Okay. So that's the input voltage for the IC to start work. Okay. All right. So after then, the charging IC will give out the output voltage. Okay. Which is going to your battery connector. All right. So that's your battery connector. Okay. All right. And this output voltage coming from the charging IC is called feedbacks. Okay. So the voltage is in between 3.7 voltage to 4.2 voltage, if I'm correct. Okay. All right. So now this voltage is the voltage that is required to charge our battery. Okay. And also, especially some phone that is coming now. Okay. So charging IC. So there are some latest phone now that you have like a 2 DC to DC IC. So one IC we call, if I remember on the schematics, one IC will be called switching IC. That's DC to DC IC. And one we call master charging IC. Yes, if I could remember on schematics. So that switching charging IC is also called slave. Yes, slave charging IC. So that slave charging IC is responsible to give out 50H power. So that's that's a type of mobile phone. So that's for the latest mobile phone. So such a mobile phone, we have to charging IC. But one will be working for output of giving out PPH power of this system, while the other one will require for charging and some other purpose. Okay. But notwithstanding, I'm going to combine everything at once. So let's assume that the charging IC is also responsible for giving out PPH power through a coil. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, through a coil, and this coil is called buck coil. So I believe that you know how the buck coil work. Okay, all right. So we have output capacitor here. Okay, and this line is going to what? Power IC management. Okay, so this line is called VPH or V system. So the voltage also is in between 3.7 voltage to 4.2. Okay, so in Qualcomm phone, if I'm correct, okay, it is called VPH. That's voltage for the phone. In MediaTek, that's MTK. It's called V system. That's voltage system, if I'm correct. Okay, so this voltage is a voltage that require to go all over your mobile PCB. Okay, this voltage will be present in every section of your mobile PCB. Okay, so that's why it is called voltage system. That's voltage that go all over the system, all over the PCB. Okay, all right. So do not be confused. So it's just a schematics of the mobile chipset. Their way of calling their own, you know, those mobile chipsets, Qualcomm, MediaTek, somehow. So they have the language of calling their signals. Okay, so when you are studying schematics, you will learn about that. So and there's is this the same thing, PPH system. So let's just go into that. So let's go into our main topic of what you are saying. Okay, so now we have VPH power. So after then, this PPH power, we said that it go all over to other section. Okay, so it go to some section. So like audio section, like your backlight section, your graphics, your graphics, yes, the graphics section, network section. Okay, okay, and so on. That's what I could remember. Okay, and so on. All right. So and after then, after this VPH is supplied, and it also go to it serve as an input to the power IC to start work. Okay, so this voltage must be present as an input for the PMIC to start work. So after that, the power IC will give out output voltage. Output voltage. Okay, so this voltage are called buck voltage. So among the buck voltage is the voltage that go to CPU, which is VCore. So we have voltage that go to eMMC. That's your flash memory. Okay. So then they have a voltage that go to camera section. Okay. So go to graphics section. Yeah. And many other sections like that. So that's the output voltage coming from the power IC. You know, it's a power IC. It's a power management. It's the one that supply voltage. Okay. All right. So now this is the diagram of the mobile PCB. So now coming back to our main topic, that's which area is secondary section, which area is primary section. Okay, so now this is where we want to go so that we can identify the primary and the secondary section. Okay, which area is secondary section, which area is primary section. You know what? In order to east and to break it down, okay, I'm going to come down to a simple way that everybody will understand. So in just simple language, we have some voltage we call standby voltage. Standby voltage. Okay, so what are the standby voltage? So standby voltage are the voltage that present whenever you insert any power source. And what is the power source for our mobile phone? We have two power sources. It's either your charger, it's either the battery. Okay, so when you plug in your battery or you insert your charger without powering on the phone, this voltage will be present. So what are the voltage that will be present before the phone power on? 1. So what are the standby voltage? So standby voltage are what? Number 1, Fibos, which is what? 5 volts. Okay, so that's the voltage coming from your charger. 2, this is VBAT. That's 3.7 to 4.2 volts. That's the voltage coming from the charger IC to charge the battery. So number 3, that's VPH or V system. Also 3.7 volts to 4.2 volts. So this is the voltage that will go to all the mobile PCB section. Okay. So this voltage, this 3 voltage must present so far when you inserted or you plug any power source, battery or charger. So this voltage will be present without powering on the phone at all. So these are called standby voltage. And this standby voltage is what we call primary voltage. And this section that's able to give out this voltage are called primary section. Very simple. Okay? Alright, so now secondary section. So we have some voltage that come. So after powering mobile phone. Okay, so those voltage that come after powering the mobile phone, so source like buck voltage. So this through this buck voltage by buck coil. So that's the transportation that a power IC use to transport a voltage to other section, such as CPU, eMMC, RAM, the graphics section, camera, okay, so etc and so on. Okay, so through this buck voltage, so that's what power IC use to transport those voltage to that section. So we call it buck voltage. Okay, so for the CPU voltage is called VCore. we call voltage, and so on. Okay, all right. And you also have some voltage. You know that we said that those section like audio section, network section, backlight, gravis. Also, so we say that those section receive input VPH, 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 VPH as their input. And listen, the output voltage that this guy give out as secondary section. And those voltage, for example, now if you don't power on the mobile phone, so you will not get the actual voltage for the backlight. It's until you press the power button that you will get that actual voltage. Okay, you understand? Maybe like from 12 volts to 23 volts upward. So depend on your mobile phone requirement for the light section. Okay, so it's until you press the power button before the voltage can come out. Hope you understand. So this kind of voltage are called secondary section, or the output voltage from this active section. We call them active section. Okay, so they are called secondary voltage. So in just simple language, I hope you understand secondary voltage, secondary section, and primary section. Okay, if you like this video, okay, you can click on like button. So if you love this video, click on like, all right, and follow this YouTube channel. Okay, all right, guys. So and also in the comment section, so you can see the next lesson we should go for. Okay, so you can comment. All right, bye, guys.